Dominic and Kelly, what brings you into my office today?
Father Jeff, we're considering having another child. In fact, I think we want one, but we're getting a lot of negative feedback from our friends and our family who think it's irresponsible.
Okay, well, how many children do you have now?
We have 3 children, Natalie who's 8, Dominic who's 6, and Helena who's 2.
Wow, that does sound like a handful.
Yeah, they keep us pretty busy, but Helena is getting older and she's far more independent. I think that we have the time now, I think, that we could handle another.
Whenever I'm out with Helena shopping, I get a lot of looks and and people say things to me like, oh, don't you know about family planning? And sometimes I say back to them, well, yes, of course I know about family planning. It's great to avoid a pregnancy, but it's also great to achieve one.
There are always going to be people who criticize you for decisions that you make. I mean, I know for myself, there are people who are critical of my decision to want to go in the seminary, study to be a priest. But these kind of decisions that you're talking about in terms of how many children to have in your family, this is your responsibility. In order to make sure that you're doing this responsibly, what you want to do is to bring this decision before God. Open yourself up to Him in prayer to make sure that you're following His will. Now, when it comes to a large family size, I do know of a couple, and now brace yourself, they have 11 children. Yes. Now, the thing is, they've made a responsible decision. They can handle that many because they have the financial means to take care of those children. Emotionally, they can take care of them, and also physically. But by that very same token, I know some couples that they can really only responsibly have 1 or 2 children. But then there's also those couples that, for whatever reason, they're not able to have a child. Some of those couples, they feel the call to adopt, and there are others who don't feel that call to adopt. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that whether you have a large family size or a small family size, whether you're called to adopt or not to adopt, ultimately this is a decision which is between the couple and God.
I think that we are ready, and I think God wants us to have another child, but I'm not sure how to tell if now is the right time.
Okay, well, that's a very good question, and what I would suggest that you do, if you're trying to determine if now is the time or not, is for both of you to sit down as a couple and come up with a list. A list that's going to have reasons why you think you should have a child now, and another list that has reasons why you think that you should wait to have a child. And pray over that list, bring your thoughts and feelings to that list, prioritize that list, and review it as a couple once a month.
I can tell you right now that I can probably think of 20 reasons why we shouldn't right away, and just a handful why we should. How do we weigh that out?
Look very carefully at those reasons that you've listed for not having a child right now, and take a look at it and find out, are the reasons that you've put down mainly ones that have to do with acquiring more physical things, material things, just getting more stuff? And also you want to take a look and see how much peer pressure is influencing those reasons on your list. And if that's the case, if those reasons really have to do with just getting more things or people putting pressure on you, then you really want to open yourself up to figure out more of those reasons for why God would want you to have a child now. And to do that, you really want to put yourself in the mindset of God, because He is in favor of couples being open to new life.
We are open to new life, Father, and I'm not sure why we've been so hesitant. It's definitely not a matter of material possessions.
Yeah, I think it was more of the peer pressure from our friends and family, people telling us how many children we should have and what's responsible. But after hearing your suggestions, I think we're going to go home and make a list.
That's a good idea.
NFP has served us in many different ways, first to avoid pregnancy and then later to help achieve pregnancy. In that sense, it's unique among the methods of birth control. There isn't another method of birth control that you can use to both avoid and achieve pregnancy. It made me wonder or think about why it wasn't more widely known. The thought that occurred to us is that it's because of the economic interest. You've got to follow the money. With the artificial means of birth control, whether it's a pill or a device or a condom, you're talking about something that there's a profit motive. Somebody stands to make money on it, so they advertise. They spend a lot of money advertising for those products. But there's a profit to be made by the company that offers those products for sale. There's no economic value in pushing the information out there for natural family planning as there is for the commercially available forms of birth control. It doesn't cost anything to use it, so since there's no profit motive, there's no marketing being done behind it. The choice is yours. The responsibility to do the research is yours. No other method of birth control offers you that flexibility. The only way commercially available forms of birth control can help you achieve pregnancy is if they fail, or if you don't use them properly. There's a lot of information out there about the other forms of birth control. They don't get all the information out there. They don't get the bad stuff out there. You have to find it on your own. They only get the things they want you to hear, which is what the goal of advertising is to sell the product. With natural family planning, there's no selling to be done because there's nobody to gain financially from your decision to use it or not use it. NFP is designed to work both ways and to be in keeping with God's will. We feel it's very important to help get the word out about how natural family planning is an effective means of both avoiding and achieving pregnancy without the downfalls of the artificial means. With natural family planning, it's a free, easy-to-use method that you can choose with nobody gaining a profit from your choice. Cindy and I believe that an informed choice is a good choice, and we were glad to have the information on NFP from the beginning to use it as a means for avoiding pregnancy, and later realized its value as a means of achieving pregnancy.
For more questions and answers, check out our webpage at www.nfponline.org or email your questions to nfp@aod.org.